The Windows 10 rush is winding down, so what is next for the PC? That's the very question Steve Ranger has been looking into for us. Steve, just start off with how's it looking in general for the PC?
Sure. Well, actually last year it was looking pretty good for the PC after maybe 7 or 8 years of gradual decline in terms of PC sales. Last year we actually saw sales tick up slightly. That was largely because businesses and to a certain extent individual consumers were going out and buying new PCs because of Windows 10. So they had to move from Windows 7, which is what a whole bunch of people were using, onto Windows 10. The deadline, which has just passed, was looming. So that meant people went out and had a bit of a shopping spree. Now, as I say, that was good news for the PC because sales went up. The unfortunate thing is now that the deadline for moving over from Windows 7 to Windows 10 has largely passed, people are probably going to buy less PCs. In fact, over the next few years, that decline in PC sales that we've seen over the last few years is likely to return. So we had one bumpy year, and even then that wasn't that bumper a year. It was okay. And after that, maybe gradual decline or flat at best.
All right, so Steve, I know you talk about in your article writing that 5G and folding screens may not produce enough of a boost in the short term. So what does need to change?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, faced with a flat or at best, and maybe even a declining market, the PC makers are really trying to go all out to find some new things that we want to buy, whether that's as consumers or as businesses. So they're experimenting with all kinds of things like 5G in laptops, but also these foldable screens you're seeing those in smartphones as well. The analysts I've spoken to say that these are kind of cool innovations, but they're not really going to kind of tip the market particularly. Certainly not over the next few years. Right now, these are kind of experimental things that we kind of like to write about and we like to look at, but maybe people don't necessarily want to go out and buy. So that's the big question then is, well, if that's not going to boost the market, will anything? And possibly the truth is that not much will. I mean, PCs have been around for a long time. People aren't buying new PCs because they're happy with the ones they've got. The ones they've got do most of the things they need a PC to do. And if your PC won't do it, then you'll probably do it on a smartphone or a tablet, which you've also got lying around the place. So whereas maybe 10, 15 years ago, PCs were the only game in town, now we've got a whole bunch of different things we can use, whether that's some sort of like speech-enabled music device that we can talk to, like an Amazon Alexa or something like that, or a smartwatch or whatever. So we've got a whole bunch of choices now, and buying a PC isn't the only one. What that means is perhaps good news for business, actually, because businesses are still the most likely buyers of PCs, because basically in business you can't really get by without one. You try and work on a spreadsheet or do some complex graphics or even write a story as a journalist, then you really want to be on something with a screen and a keyboard. So that mostly means a PC. So what we might see is actually the market moving more towards providing the needs of business rather than consumers. So you think about the things that businesses want. They want better batteries, they want bigger screens, they want lighter things so you don't have to carry them around from meeting to meeting. So in some respects, everything we have now, but more. So I think you'll probably see a lot of that. I think you might see some services as well. So rather than just selling a laptop, the PC companies will try and sell you a whole bunch of services around that, whether that's maintenance or maybe warning your IT manager that the battery's about to fail on that laptop, so it needs replacing, that kind of thing. Just kind of wrapping some more services around it rather than just selling the piece of hardware. But so potentially, although the declining market might be a tough time for the actual PC makers, might mean that as business users, you might actually get something that you actually want.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely remember a time when PCs were the only a game in town, Steve, and it's just amazing how much things have changed. Well, we certainly appreciate your article on this. If you want to learn more about the future of PCs, make sure you check out Steve's article there on ZDNet. Thanks for watching.